In a popular Middle Eastern folktale, the magic words "open sesame" provide poor woodcutter Ali Baba entree to a treasure-bedecked robber's den. After Seattle's devastating June 6, 1889 fire, which burned nearly 30 downtown blocks, the incantation "fireproof" conjured access to a hopeful future. As smoke rose from the ashes, residents assembled in a surviving armory, unanimously voicing their intention to rebuild in brick and stone. When precocious, if prickly, architect Willis Ritchie, 1864 to 1931, arrived in the scorched city a month later, a few days shy of his 25th birthday, he shrewdly adopted "fireproof" as his watchword, opening doors to rich opportunities. After taking an architectural correspondence course, an apprenticeship in his teens, the cocksure Ritchie had designed banks, opera houses, and courthouses throughout Kansas by his early 20s. Overseeing construction of the Wichita Federal Building, supplied on-the-job training in the latest fire-resistant techniques. It wasn't long before the newly arrived fireproofing architectural prodigy won over Seattle and King County planners. By late summer, his designs for a new, incombustible King County Courthouse were adopted, and construction soon commenced atop First Hill. Proclaimed the Seattle Post-Intelligencer on November 3rd, it will undoubtedly be the finest building of the kind on the coast. Local competitors were less enthusiastic. Decades later, noted architect John Parkinson disdainfully recalled Ritchie. With his hard, slick-looking face, he was someone we all despised, but he managed to get the public buildings. When the courthouse opened on June 6, 1891, precisely 2 years after the Great Fire, lawyers and clerks dismissed the structure as the Gray Pile, the Tower of Despair, and the Cruel Castle, reached only by climbing Profanity Hill. Opined the Seattle Times, it deserves its bad name. Struggling up a steep hill with armfuls of law books is not conducive to judicial dignity. The new courthouse, despite its graceless tower, became Ritchie's calling card. Commissions for fireproof public buildings poured in, and his mostly Romanesque revival designs soon dotted the state. Port Townsend's Jefferson County Courthouse in 1891, Olympia's Thurston County Courthouse, 1892, and the Spokane County Courthouse, 1895, modeled after France's Loire Valley Chateau, all survive. The King County Courthouse's ungainly profile photobombed countless Seattle cityscape portraits for 4 decades. But on January 8, 1931, the incombustible pile was dynamited, making room for King County Hospital, now Harborview Medical Center. To quote now and then column founder Paul Dorpat, "In the moment it might take an exhausted barrister to mouth a monosyllabic indecency, the old embarrassment was leveled." 9 days later, Willis Ritchie died without so much as a closed sesame to mark his passing. In our first then photo, the King County Courthouse, an attached jail, loomed above Seattle atop First Hill for nearly 40 years. In 1916, the courthouse moved to its current digs on 3rd Avenue between James Street and Yesler Way, leaving behind only prisoners and jailers. In our second then photo, in mid-1930, several months before the courthouse was demolished, the new campus of King County Hospital, now Harborview, neared completion. Architect Willis A. Ritchie, circa 1890 at the height of his career. By the time he reached his mid-30s, demand for his designs had waned. In our now photo, this view looks southeast at Harborview's Medical Center's south parking structure, whose roof also serves as a medical heliport. An Airlift Northwest helicopter takes flight on a recent spring afternoon.